I hear the call of the stars.
G'day everyone, Duckville here. Little bit of a special sort of introduction to this particular series here between tTWhite-Ra and ePGimix. These guys obviously played in an earlier part of MLG in the open bracket, of course, and White-Ra, unfortunately, there was a bit of a scheduling mishap there, and White-Ra, unfortunately, was disqualified for the first little matchup between these two players, which, unfortunately, we won't get to see, of course, because there were no games, in fact, but I do have these two particular replays here which do feature the very, very controversial and you could say perhaps very sportsmanlike actions of Gimix here. I'm sure many of you know the stories of what exactly happened here, and what we'll be seeing here is exactly what happened between these two players. So at this current time, the series is actually up, so it was up 2-0 for the first couple of games, which went to Gimix, but now, of course, being an extended series, White-Ra went down to the losers bracket, proceeded up through that particular bracket, and now had to face off against Gimix again. And as we can see here, Gimix being a very, very well-mannered player here, we can see that he is actually deciding to send an SCV rush up to White-Ra once he finds him here on Tal'Darim Altar. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to allow White-Ra to catch up in the series and effectively set it to a very a simple sort of level where they are actually pretty much all squared again, and they'll have to face off in another best of 3, which we'll be seeing shortly. So as we can see here, Gimix just scouting around with the with one of his SCVs, doesn't actually notice where the probe came from at that time, but the SCVs up towards the top of the map are actually on their little train. White-Ra now heading inside the base with the probe here, and obviously at this point White-Ra had no idea what was actually going to be happening here, and as a Protoss player walking into a Terran base like this and seeing no SCVs, it's a little bit scary. And as we can see on the minimap, White-Ra did go for that early Nexus there, doing the amazing 15 or 16 Nexus, which I personally love to do, but seeing that there were no SCVs, knows the SCV rush is coming, puts down a couple of gateways and then a forge as well, but Gimix is already inside the base, but he does get inside, takes out one of the probes. That pylon is in jeopardy, but Gimix deciding he's going to be a good sport, just not going to take advantage of White-Ra in this situation, and the game GG. So that takes us pretty quickly there into that deciding part of that game, and then up to the second game here, which will level the series here. Gimix just again doing the exact same thing, sending the SCV straight across through Test Bug. Now this is of course the iCup Test Bug map, which is a very, very cool map. Unfortunately, I don't have any replays of this one just yet, but we'll see what we can do. And White-Ra again, probably maybe suspecting that this will be coming again, not really worrying too much about scouting out or anything like that. I'd suspect he probably was aware that this was going to be coming. And here comes the SCV train into the wrong part of the map, but he is going to head back down to towards the other side. And once this happens, of course, as I said before, this series will be evened out because this is the extended series. And once we go to the next games, which we'll get to in just a moment, we will actually see that that we will be actually able to see a proper game between these two players, and two great players they are. But here is the SCV inside White-Ra's base, poking away at that Nexus with the little drill bit. I'm not sure how long that'll take to kill the Nexus, but a long time. But here come the SCVs, a smiley face from tTWhite-Ra, appreciating the gesture from Gimix, and that will be it for now. So that takes us to an even slate in this matchup. Make sure you jump into the next games.